I'm holding my violin like a shield, and the CFO of Hartwell Industries just called my Paganini charming with a smile that means inadequate. His wife laughed. 3 other couples in their circle joined in. I'm standing 6 feet from their table at the Pacific Arts Foundation Gala in downtown Seattle, wearing a black dress I can't afford and performing classical music for people who treat me like expensive wallpaper. This is the reason I'm about to make a choice that will end my normal life. The ballroom of the Fairmont Olympic Hotel smells like champagne that costs more than my monthly rent and perfume I can't pronounce. Crystal chandeliers throw light across marble floors. Every table has orchids that were flown in from somewhere tropical. I've been playing for 2 hours, moving between tables like I'm supposed to. Background ambiance, not a person. I've heard 4 racial jokes disguised as compliments. I've smiled through all of them because I need this job. Because the Seattle Symphony rejected my audition 3 months ago. Because my student loans don't care that I have a master's degree from Juilliard. But here's what they don't know. I notice everything. The Hartwell CFO's cufflinks are Bulgari, but his watch is a cheap fake. The second hand ticks instead of sweeping. His wife's diamond bracelet is real, but she keeps touching it nervously, checking the clasp. The couple to their left stop talking the second I approach their section. The man in the corner booth hasn't looked at his date once in 40 minutes. He's been watching the kitchen entrance. And the Korean man in the tailored charcoal suit sitting alone at table 12 has been watching me for the past hour. Not like the others watch. Like he's reading something written on my face. Would you accept humiliation from people who barely see you as human? Or would you risk everything to reclaim your dignity, even if the person offering that chance could destroy you? They mocked the black violinist at the charity ball. Then the Korean Mafia boss stepped forward. The real problem starts when I overhear what I shouldn't. I'm near the service corridor, taking a water break, when I catch the Hartwell CFO's voice around the corner. The transfer clears Thursday. Chen won't know until it's too late. By the time anyone audits, we'll be clean. A woman responds, "What about the foundation board?" They're too busy congratulating themselves on their charity to look at the actual financials. We've been skimming for 2 years. My fingers tighten on my violin case. The Pacific Arts Foundation funds youth music programs across the Pacific Northwest. I received their scholarship at 16. It's the reason I could afford private lessons, the reason I made it to Juilliard. I step back. My heel catches the corner of a server's tray. The crash echoes like a gunshot. The CFO appears in the corridor entrance. Our eyes meet. His expression shifts from annoyed to alert to dangerous in 3 seconds flat. "You," he says. "The violinist. How long have you been standing there?" My throat is dry. I just arrived. I was getting water. She heard us. The woman appears behind him. Board member Catherine Voss, old money, colder eyes. Look at her face. She heard every word. I didn't hear anything. I was just... "You need to come with us," Hartwell says, moving forward. "We should talk somewhere private." Everything my father taught me about danger sparks alive. He was a cop for 23 years before a shootout in South Seattle killed him. He always said, "When powerful people want to take you somewhere private, you run." I run. I bolt back into the ballroom, weaving between tables. My violin case bangs against my hip. I hear Hartwell shouting behind me, but I can't process the words over my pulse hammering in my ears. I'm making a scene. Everyone is staring. My career in Seattle's classical music scene is burning down in real time, but all I can think is that Catherine Voss has the kind of money that makes problems disappear. I reach the main entrance. 2 men in security uniforms step into my path. "Miss, we need you to come with us." They're not hotel security. Their suits are too expensive. Their earpieces too discreet. I'm trapped. Then a voice cuts through the chaos, sharp and absolute. "She's with me." The Korean man from table 12 is standing 3 feet away. Up close, he's younger than I thought, maybe 38, 40 at most. His suit is bespoke. His watch is a Patek Philippe that costs more than a car, and his eyes are the darkest brown I've ever seen. He moves like violence wrapped in silk. Sajangnim. Both security men bow slightly. Actually, bow. "She's my guest," he continues in English, his accent barely present. If Hartwell has a complaint about the entertainment, he can discuss it with me directly. I'm not breathing. I don't know who this man is, but the security team is backing away like he's radioactive. Hartwell appears, face flushed. "Mr. Kang, this is a misunderstanding. The young woman is leaving with me now." Kang doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't have to. The temperature in the room drops 10 degrees. His hand touches the small of my back. Light pressure, clear command. "Walk." I walk. We cross the lobby. A black Mercedes is already waiting at the entrance, engine running. The driver opens the rear door without being asked. Kang guides me inside, slides in beside me. The door closes. We pull into Seattle traffic. That's when I start shaking. "You're safe," he says, like he's commenting on the weather. "Who are you?" "Someone who pays attention." He studies me with the same intensity as before. "You noticed Hartwell's watch. I saw you clock it." My chest tightens. "You were watching me." "I watch everything. It's how I stay alive." He leans back against the leather seat. "Your name?" Naomi Price." "I'm Kang Min-jun, and you, Naomi Price, just became either very valuable or very dangerous to me. We're going to figure out which." The car doesn't take me home. It takes me to a high-rise in Belltown, glass and steel, with a lobby that screams, "Money talks, and you don't speak the language." We ride the elevator to the penthouse in silence. I clutch my violin case like it might protect me. Kang stands perfectly still, checking his phone once, typing something in Korean. The penthouse is minimalist. White walls, dark furniture, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Elliott Bay. A woman in her 50s is waiting in the living room. She bows to Kang, says something rapid in Korean, then leaves through a side door. "Sit," Kang says. I sit on the edge of a leather sofa that probably costs more than my entire apartment. He pours 2 glasses of water from a crystal pitcher, hands me one. "Drink. You're dehydrated." I drink because my mouth is desert dry and because I don't know what else to do. Kang sits across from me, elbows on his knees, hands clasped. "Tell me exactly what you heard Hartwell say." "Why?" "Because I own 40% of the commercial real estate in this building and 6 others in Seattle. Because I have investments in 18 businesses that depend on maintaining certain relationships, and because Richard Hartwell owes me $3 million that he's currently stealing from a charity foundation to pay back." His expression doesn't change. "So, tell me what you heard." I repeat the conversation word for word. My memory is sharp. Musician's training, pattern recognition, auditory precision. Kang listens without interrupting. When I finish, he sits back. "Thursday. 2 days from now." "Are you going to kill him? Do you want me to?" The question lands like a slap. "No, I don't know who you are." "Yes, you do. You're intelligent. You've been watching me as much as I've been watching you. You saw the security team's response. You know what I am." I force myself to hold his gaze. "You're Korean Mafia." "Close enough. The term we use is Jopak, but yes. I run an organization that operates in Seattle, Vancouver, and the Bay Area. We handle import-export, real estate, entertainment investments, and problems that require discretion." He tilts his head. "You're not screaming. That's interesting." "My father was a cop. I grew up knowing that organized crime exists. I just never thought I'd be sitting in a crime boss's living room at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. And yet here you are. Because you dragged me here." "I saved you. There's a difference. Hartwell's people were going to take you somewhere quiet and ensure your silence permanently. You think a missing black violinist would make headlines? You'd be a statistic." The truth of that burns. So what happens now? Now you become useful to me." Kang stands, walks to the windows. The city glitters below him like he owns it. Maybe he does. Hartwell is embezzling from the Pacific Arts Foundation, using the money to pay off a debt to me while simultaneously trying to hide assets. He's playing both sides. That makes him a liability. So you'll expose him? I need proof, the kind that holds up under scrutiny. You heard a conversation. That's not enough. I need documents, transaction records, names. My stomach drops. You want me to get them? You have access. You're invisible in that world. The hired help, the entertainment. No one watches the violinist. He turns to face me. You move through rooms full of wealthy criminals and they don't even see you. That's a skill. That's not a skill. That's racism. It's both. And you're going to use it. No. I stand. I'm not a spy. I'm not an informant. I'm a musician. I just want to go home and forget this night happened. Kang crosses the room in 3 strides. He's not threatening, not physically, but his presence fills the space like smoke. Hartwell knows you heard him. Catherine Voss has connections to law enforcement, legal firms, and people who specialize in making inconvenient witnesses disappear. You think you can go back to your apartment in Fremont and just forget? You're a loose end. Variables get eliminated. Then I'll go to the police. And tell them what? That you overheard something at a party? That a rich white man made you uncomfortable? You'll be laughed out of the precinct, and then you'll be dead. His voice softens just slightly. I'm offering you protection and a solution. Help me get what I need on Hartwell, and I'll make sure he can't touch you. I'll also make sure the money he stole goes back to the foundation. Why do you care about the foundation? I don't. I care about my $3 million and making an example of people who think they can steal from me. The foundation is a convenient moral justification. He pauses. But you care. That's why you ran instead of staying quiet. You could have walked away. You didn't. He's right. And I hate that he's right. If you've ever had to choose between the dangerous person offering protection and facing certain danger alone, you know there's no good answer. There's only survival. If I do this, I say slowly, what exactly do you want? Information. Access. Your eyes and ears in spaces I can't enter. For how long? Until I have everything I need. And then? Then you're free. I pay my debts, Ms. Price. You do this, and I'll owe you one. That's worth more than you realize. I think about my father. About the scholarship that changed my life, about the youth programs that give kids like I was a chance, about Catherine Voss's cold eyes and Hartwell's fake watch and the casual cruelty of people who think they're untouchable. I want the money back in the foundation, I say. All of it. Not just your $3 million, every dollar they stole. Kang's expression shifts. Something that might be respect flickers across his features. Agreed. And I want protection. Real protection. Not just your word. You'll stay here. Guest room, second door on the left. My security team will escort you anywhere you need to go. You'll have a phone, encrypted, linked directly to me. I have a life, an apartment, students I teach. Your students will be told you're dealing with a family emergency. Your rent will be paid. Your life will be waiting when this is over. He extends his hand. Do we have a deal? I look at his hand, at the calluses on his knuckles that say he's not just a businessman, at the scar along his wrist that says he's survived things I can't imagine. I shake his hand. His grip is firm, warm, and absolutely unbreakable. Welcome to my world, Naomi Price. Try not to die in it. The guest room is bigger than my entire apartment. King bed, attached bathroom with a soaking tub, a view of the Space Needle. There's a phone on the nightstand, a burner, I assume, and a small note in English. Tomorrow, 7 a.m. We begin. I don't sleep. I sit on the bed with my violin case in my lap and try to process how my life turned into a crime thriller in the span of 3 hours. At 6:47 a.m., there's a knock on the door. Kang enters without waiting for my response. He's dressed more casually now, black jeans, a dark sweater, still looking like he stepped out of a fashion magazine. He's carrying a tablet. "You're awake. Good. We have work to do." He sits on the chair by the window, opens the tablet. The Pacific Arts Foundation holds quarterly board meetings. The next one is Friday, 3 days from now. Hartwell will be there. So will Catherine Voss and 8 other board members. You'll be there too. As what? The entertainment? As my date. I nearly choke. Excuse me? I'm a foundation donor, 7 figures annually. I received an invitation months ago and declined. This morning, I accepted and requested a +1. He shows me the tablet and email confirmation. You'll attend as Naomi Price, professional musician and my companion. It gives you legitimate access to the event and the building. No one will believe I'm dating you. Why not? Because I gesture at myself. And I gesture at him. Attractive and wealthy? His tone is dry. You're also attractive and talented. People will believe what they see, and what they'll see is me treating you like you matter. That's all it takes. He stands, walks to the door, pauses. There's clothing in the closet. It will fit. Breakfast is in 20 minutes. Don't be late. He leaves. I open the closet. There are 6 outfits, all in my size, all designer labels I recognize from magazines. Dresses, slacks, blouses, everything in my color palette. Jewel tones, deep blacks, rich creams. He had these ready, which means he planned this before last night, which means I walked into a trap that was already set. The question is, am I the bait or the prey? Breakfast is served in the dining room by the same older woman from last night. She introduces herself as Mrs. Cho, Kang's housekeeper. She speaks limited English, but her warmth is obvious. She serves me rice, soup, grilled fish, and banchan, small dishes of kimchi, seasoned vegetables, pickled radish. Kang watches me navigate the chopsticks. You know how to use them. I lived in Boston during grad school. My roommate was Korean. She taught me. I managed to pick up a piece of fish without dropping it. She also taught me that eating someone's food means you trust them. Do you trust me? No. Smart. He sips his coffee. But you're still here. I don't have a choice. Everyone has a choice. You made yours. We eat in silence for a few minutes. Then Kang says, "Tell me about your father." The question catches me off guard. Why? Because you mentioned he was a cop. Because you didn't panic when I told you what I am. Because you assess risk like someone trained to survive. He sets down his cup. Who was he? Detective Marcus Price, South Precinct, 23 years on the force. I push rice around my bowl. He was killed responding to a robbery at a convenience store in 2019. The shooter was 17. My dad was 3 months from retirement. I'm sorry. Are you? My father died when I was 19, killed by a rival organization during a territorial dispute in LA. I understand loss. There's no manipulation in his voice, just fact, just shared history. Your father taught you to notice things, Kang continues. What else did he teach you? That powerful people rarely face consequences, that the system protects money, that sometimes the only justice you get is the justice you take yourself. I meet his eyes. He also taught me that crime is crime, no matter who commits it, so don't think we're on the same side just because we've both lost someone. I don't need us to be on the same side. I need us to be useful to each other. There's a difference. Mrs. Cho brings more coffee. Kang switches to Korean, speaking to her quietly. She nods, smiles at me, leaves the room. What did you say? I ask. I told her you're a guest under my protection and to make sure you're comfortable. In my world, that means you're untouchable. Anyone who harms you answers to me. Why are you protecting me? You could have just let Hartwell's people take me. Because you're more valuable alive and cooperative than dead and silent. And because, he pauses, considers his words, because you saw Hartwell's fake watch. Most people wouldn't notice. Most people don't look closely enough. You do. That makes you dangerous in the best possible way. You're building a file on Hartwell. I'm building a weapon, and you're going to help me aim it. The next 3 days are a crash course in infiltration. Kang's security chief, a quiet man named Park who speaks even less than Mrs. Cho, teaches me how to use my phone's camera discreetly, how to photograph documents without flash, how to record conversations without obvious tells. Kang himself teaches me what to look for: file folders left on desks, computer screens showing financial software, overheard phone calls, seating arrangements at meetings that reveal alliances. You're already good at observation, he says during one of our sessions. Now you need to trust what you see. We're in his office, a room I wasn't allowed in until today. One wall is floor-to-ceiling windows. Another is covered in monitors showing security feeds from various locations. A third wall has a whiteboard with names, photos, connecting lines. I recognize Hartwell's face, Catherine Voss, 3 other board members, and at the center a photo of Kang himself with a question mark next to it. What's that? I point to the question mark. My problem. Someone inside my organization is feeding information to my competitors. I don't know who, so I don't know why. But it's cost me 3 shipments and 2 business deals in the past 6 months. He taps the whiteboard. Hartwell's debt to me was supposed to be resolved through a real estate transfer. Instead, he's been stalling, embezzling foundation money to pay me in cash, and I suspect he's working with whoever is leaking my information. You think someone at the foundation is your mole? I think the foundation is a nexus for connections I don't have visibility into. Wealthy donors, political figures, business leaders. It's the perfect place to hide information exchange. He turns to me. That's really what I need you for. Not just Hartwell. I need you to watch everyone. Tell me who talks to whom, who avoids whom, who's nervous. That's a lot more complicated than getting financial documents. Which is why I chose you. You can handle complicated. The way he says it, not a compliment, just a fact, makes something in my chest shift, like he sees me, really sees me. Not the struggling musician or the hired help or the black girl playing violin for rich white people's approval. Just me, capable, dangerous. It's terrifying how good that feels. Friday arrives. The board meeting is at 6 p.m., cocktail hour starting at 5:30. Kang has arranged for a stylist to come to the penthouse at 3 p.m., a woman named Michelle who doesn't ask questions and transforms me into someone I barely recognize. The dress is midnight blue, fitted but elegant, with a neckline that suggests rather than reveals. My hair, usually pulled back for performances, is styled in loose curls that frame my face. Minimal jewelry, heels that add 3 inches and make me feel powerful. When I emerge from the guest room, Kang is waiting in the living room. He's in a black suit, crisp white shirt, no tie. He looks at me for 3 full seconds without speaking. "You'll do," he finally says. "You'll do too," I shoot back. The corner of his mouth twitches, almost a smile. The foundation meeting is held at the Seattle Art Museum, private event space on the 3rd floor. We arrive exactly on time. Kang's hand rests on my lower back as we enter. Possessive without being aggressive. People notice. I watch their eyes track us across the room. The whispers start immediately. Catherine Voss intercepts us within 5 minutes. "Mr. Kang, how lovely to see you, and this must be your friend?" "Naomi Price," Kang says smoothly. "Professional violinist. We met at the gala last week." "Oh?" Catherine's smile doesn't reach her eyes. "I didn't realize you'd attended." I have broad interests. Kang accepts a glass of champagne from a passing server, hands it to me. "Ms. Price was kind enough to accompany me this evening. I thought she might appreciate seeing how the foundation operates." "How thoughtful." Catherine's gaze slides to me, dismissive and assessing at once. "Enjoy the evening, dear." She walks away. I release the breath I didn't know I was holding. "You did well," Kang murmurs. "She's already forgotten you." "That's the idea, right?" "Exactly." We circulate. Kang introduces me to board members, donors, foundation staff. I smile. I make small talk. I play the role of the talented girlfriend who's grateful to be here, and I watch everything. Hartwell arrives at 5:47, 13 minutes late. His tie is slightly crooked. His wife isn't with him. He makes a beeline for the bar, orders whiskey, scans the room. His eyes land on me. I see recognition flare, then fear, quickly masked. He says something to the man next to him. That man looks at me, then at Kang. The conversation stops. "Hartwell's afraid," I whisper to Kang. "Good, fear makes people careless." At 6:15, everyone moves to the conference room for the official meeting. Kang and I take seats in the back, observers, not participants. The agenda is standard: financial reports, program updates, fundraising initiatives, but I'm not listening to the words. I'm watching the body language. Catherine Voss sits at the head of the table, running the meeting with practiced efficiency. Hartwell is 3 seats down, fidgeting with his pen. There's a woman to his left, Andrea Chen, according to the nameplate, who leans away from him slightly like he's radioactive. 2 board members at the end of the table keep checking their phones under the table, and a man directly across from Hartwell, James Delacroix, tech investor, hasn't looked at the financial report once. He's been staring at Kang. I lean close to Kang, pretend to adjust my earring. "The man across from Hartwell, Delacroix, he's been watching you." "I know him. He's neutral territory." Or he was. He's not anymore. He's terrified. Kang's hand finds mine under the table, squeezes once. Good catch. The meeting continues. Financial reports are presented. The numbers look clean. Revenue, expenses, program funding, all aligning perfectly. Too perfectly, because I've been tutoring music students for 5 years to survive, and I've learned to balance a budget down to the last dollar. I know what creative accounting looks like, and these numbers are art. When the meeting adjourns at 7:30, Kang and I linger. People file out in clusters, conversations continuing into the hallway. Kang steers us toward Hartwell, who's cornered by Andrea Chen. "Richard," Kang says pleasantly. "A moment?" Hartwell's face pales. "Mr. Kang." "Of course." Andrea excuses herself quickly. We're alone in a corner of the conference room. Hartwell's voice drops to a harsh whisper. "What is she doing here?" "Ms. Price is my guest." "She's a witness. She's under my protection, which means if anything happens to her, I'll consider it a personal insult." Kang's tone never changes, still pleasant, still calm. "I trust we understand each other?" I didn't. Thursday," Kang continues. "The transfer you promised me. I expect it completed by noon. No delays, no excuses. I need more time. You've had 6 months. Time's up." Kang straightens his cufflinks. "Enjoy the rest of your evening, Richard." We walk away. Behind us, I hear Hartwell's shaky breathing. In the elevator down, I turn to Kang. "You just put a target on his back." I put pressure on a weak point. Now we wait for him to crack. And if he doesn't crack? If he runs? Then we've learned something valuable. Either way, variables get eliminated. There's that phrase again. Variables get eliminated. Like people are math problems. Like I'm a math problem. Am I a variable to you? I ask quietly. Kang looks at me. Really looks at me. You were. Now you're something else. What? I'm still figuring that out. That night, back at the penthouse, I can't sleep again. I'm standing at the living room windows watching the city lights when Kang emerges from his office. It's nearly 2 a.m. He's ditched the suit jacket, rolled up his sleeves. He looks exhausted. You should be asleep, he says. So should you. I don't sleep much. He joins me at the window, keeps 3 feet of distance between us. Professional, careful. You did well tonight. The observation about Delacroix was sharp. He's your mole, isn't he? Potentially. Or he's being used by my mole. I'll know more soon. He's quiet for a moment. How did you know? What gave him away? He wasn't looking at the financial reports during the meeting. Everyone else was at least pretending to care. But he was watching you, tracking your reactions, like he was trying to predict what you'd do next. Most people wouldn't notice that level of detail. Most people don't have to survive on tips and gig work because the Seattle Symphony rejected them for not being the right fit. The bitterness in my voice surprises me. I notice everything because missing details means missing rent. It means losing students. It means failure. You're angry. I'm realistic. You're angry, Kang repeats, at them, at the system, at the people who have every advantage and still feel entitled to more. He's not wrong. My father told me anger was useful, I say, if you channel it right, if you don't let it burn you down. Your father was smart. Mine told me something similar. Revenge is a dish served cold, but power is a dish you serve yourself. Kang turns to face me fully. You want revenge on Hartwell, on Voss, on everyone who made you feel small. Don't you? Every day. I came to America when I was 6 years old. My father brought us here from Seoul to expand his organization. I grew up between two worlds. Korean enough to be foreign, American enough to be dismissed by my father's generation. I earned my position through violence and strategy, not inheritance. And I still have to prove myself to men who think I'm too young, too Western, too soft. His expression hardens. So yes, I understand anger, and I understand using it as fuel. We stand there in the dark, two people shaped by rage and survival, and something shifts between us. Recognition, not attraction, not yet, but understanding. Why did you really save me that night? I ask. Because you threw a glass of water on Hartwell's shoes when he insulted you. I saw it. Right before the security team closed in. You were terrified, but you still fought back. He pauses. I respect that. I didn't realize he'd seen that. I'd thought I was alone in my small rebellion. What happens now, I ask? Now we wait for Hartwell to make his next move. He will. Desperate men always do. Kang heads back toward his office, then stops. Get some sleep, Naomi. Next week gets complicated. He's right about that. He has no idea how right. Sunday morning, Mrs. Cho wakes me at 8 a.m. with a gentle knock and rapid Korean. I don't understand the words, but her tone is clear. Emergency. I throw on clothes and find Kang in his office, surrounded by 3 men I don't recognize. Park is there too, looking grim. Everyone's speaking Korean, fast and sharp. Kang sees me, switches to English. Hartwell's dead. My stomach drops. What? Car accident last night. Single vehicle drove off Highway 520 into Lake Washington. They're calling it drunk driving. He dismisses the other men with a gesture. They file out. Only Park remains. Was it an accident? I ask. No. Kang pulls up security footage on one of his monitors. This is from a traffic camera near the crash site 40 minutes before it happened. The footage shows Hartwell's Mercedes, but there's a second car following it. Black SUV. No plates visible. Catherine Voss? I guess. Or someone working for her, or someone working for whoever's leaking my information. Kang runs a hand through his hair. First time I've seen him show frustration. Hartwell was a thread. Someone cut it before I could pull it. What does that mean for me? It means you're more valuable now, because you're the only person besides me who knows what Hartwell said that night, and whoever killed him will want to tie up that loose end. The words land like ice water. They'll come after me. They'll try. Kang's eyes meet mine, and there's something protective in them now, something I haven't seen before. But I meant what I said. You're under my protection. No one touches you. Why do you care? I demand. I'm just a tool to you, a useful variable. You stopped being a variable the moment you threw water on Hartwell's shoes and refused to stay invisible. He stands, walks to me, stops close enough that I can smell his cologne, something expensive and cedar dark. I protect what's mine. You're mine now. I'm not. You shook my hand. You ate at my table. You stood beside me at that meeting. In my world, that means something. It means you're under my protection whether you want to be or not. There's something in his voice. Not ownership, not control, but something older. Honor, the debt he keeps mentioning, the code he lives by. Then what do? I ask. We find out who killed Hartwell before they find you. The next 72 hours are a blur of surveillance, interrogations, and revelations. Kang's people pull footage from every camera within 5 miles of the crash site. They track the black SUV to a rental company in Tacoma, paid for with a shell company that traces back to a law firm in Bellevue. That law firm represents Catherine Voss's personal interests. But here's what I notice. Andrea Chen, the board member who sat next to Hartwell at the meeting, hasn't posted on social media since Friday night. Her Instagram was active daily before that. Routine photos, family updates, nothing unusual. Now, silence. I mention it to Kang over dinner on Tuesday. We're eating takeout in his office. Thai food from a place in Capitol Hill that delivers at midnight. You think Chen is involved? He asks. I think she knew something. She was sitting right next to Hartwell. She would have heard conversations. She leaned away from him during the meeting, like she didn't want to be associated. Or like she was afraid of him. Or afraid for him. Kang considers this. He pulls up Chen's file on his computer. Financial records, employment history, family connections. Her daughter attends private school, Lakeside. Tuition is $50,000 a year. Chen's salary as a foundation board member is volunteer. Her day job is marketing director at a mid-sized tech firm. Salary $90,000. That math doesn't work, I say immediately. No, it doesn't. Kang digs deeper. Her ex-husband pays child support, but that's only $1,500 a month. Where's the rest coming from? We find it an hour later. Payments from an offshore account, funneled through 3 different banks, landing in Chen's personal account every quarter. $250,000 over the past 2 years. She was being paid, I say. By who? Kang's expression darkens. That's the question. He makes a call. 15 minutes later, Park arrives with a woman I don't recognize, mid-40s, professional, carrying a leather briefcase. This is Miss Song, Kang introduces. She's my attorney. She's going to help us invite Andrea Chen to a conversation. The conversation happens the next day, Wednesday afternoon. Chen is brought to the penthouse by 2 of Kang's security team. She's terrified, pale, shaking, eyes darting around like she's looking for an exit. Kang sits across from her in the living room. I'm standing by the windows, present but non-threatening. Ms. Song sits beside Kang, legal pad in hand. Miss Chen, Kang begins, voice gentle. You're not in danger, but I need you to be honest with me. Who paid you to spy on the foundation? I didn't. Andrea. I step forward. She looks at me, recognizes me from the meeting. Your daughter's at Lakeside. That's a good school. She deserves a good education. But right now, she's going to need her mother. So please, tell us the truth. Chen's face crumples. They said they'd hurt her, my daughter. They said if I didn't report on the foundation meetings, if I didn't tell them who was asking questions, they'd take her. Who? Kang asks. I don't know names. I swear. I got emails. Encrypted. Instructions. I'd report back through a secure form online. The money showed up in my account every quarter. What did you report? Donor information, board discussions, financial discrepancies. She's crying now. I knew Hartwell was embezzling. I knew Catherine knew. But I couldn't say anything. They told me if I talked, my daughter would disappear. Kang and I exchange a look. This is bigger than Hartwell's embezzling. This is an intelligence operation. Did you report on me? Kang asks. Yes, after you started donating. They wanted to know everything. Your attendance, your questions, your connections. Did you tell them about Naomi? Chen's silence is answer enough. My blood goes cold. They know about me. They've known since Friday, Kang says quietly. That's why Hartwell died. He was a loose end. You're the other loose end. Then why haven't they come for me? Because you're with me, and whoever's running this operation doesn't want a war with my organization. He stands, addresses Ms. Song. Get Chen and her daughter into protective custody. Use the safe house in Shoreline. Full security detail. No one knows where they are except Park and me. Ms. Song nods, makes notes. Chen grabs Kang's hand. Thank you, thank you. Thank me by staying alive and testifying when the time comes. That's how you pay this debt. After Chen is escorted out, I turn to Kang. Who's behind this? I don't know yet, but I'm going to find out. And when I do... His jaw tightens. Variables get eliminated. Thursday night, the pattern clicks. I'm in the guest room, reviewing photos I took at the foundation meeting on my phone. I've been staring at them for an hour, looking for anything I missed. That's when I see it. James Delacroix, the tech investor. In 3 different photos, he's positioned near Hartwell. In 2, he's holding his phone at an odd angle, camera pointed at the table, not at himself. And in 1 photo taken during the financial presentation, I can see his screen. It's not the meeting agenda. It's a messaging app, Korean characters. I run to Kang's office. He's on the phone speaking rapid Korean. I wait until he hangs up. It's Delacroix, I say, breathless. He's your mole. I show him the photos, explain what I saw. Kang studies the images for 30 seconds. Then he makes a call. By midnight, we have confirmation. James Delacroix has been feeding information to a rival Korean organization based in Vancouver, a group that's been trying to expand into Seattle for 3 years. He's been paid $2 million over 18 months. The foundation connection gave him access to Kong's donor activities, his business associates, his schedule. Hartwell's debt was supposed to resolve through a real estate deal, property in Pioneer Square that Delacroix wanted for a tech startup headquarters. When Hartwell started embezzling to pay Kang in cash instead, it threatened Delacroix's timeline, so he had Hartwell killed and blamed it on Catherine Voss. He used Chen to spy on everyone, I realize. And when I showed up at the meeting with you, he knew I was a threat, because I might see too much. You did see too much. You saw him. Kang's smile is sharp and cold. That was his fatal mistake. What happens now? Now I have a conversation with Mr. Delacroix, and you... He cups my face with one hand, thumb brushing my cheekbone. The touch is gentle, unexpected, electric. You just saved my organization. That's not a small thing. My pulse hammers. I just looked at photos. You saw what no one else saw. You connected pieces that didn't seem connected. You're dangerously observant, Naomi Price. That's your superpower. Is that why you're protecting me? Because I'm useful? No. His hand is still on my face. His eyes are dark and intense and closer than they've ever been. I'm protecting you because the thought of someone hurting you makes me want to burn the world down. That's not strategic. That's not smart. That's just true. The air between us crackles. I should step back. I should remind him that I'm not staying in this world, that this is temporary. Instead, I close the distance. The kiss is fire and need, and 3 weeks of tension exploding all at once. His hands slide into my hair. My fingers grip his shirt. We're a tangle of desperation and heat, and when we finally break apart, we're both breathless. That was a bad idea, I whisper. Probably. He rests his forehead against mine. Do you want to stop? No. Good. Neither do I. We don't make it to the bedroom. We don't make it past his desk. We come together with the urgency of people who've been circling each other for weeks, all pretense stripped away, just heat and hunger and the raw honesty of touch. Afterward, sitting on the floor of his office with our clothes half off and my head on his shoulder, Kang says, "You're not leaving, are you?" After this is over? Yes, I have a life to get back to. What if I asked you to stay? Why would you do that? Because I need someone who sees the truth, someone who tells me when I'm wrong, someone who throws water on assholes' shoes and doesn't apologize. He tilts my chin up, makes me look at him. I need you, Naomi, not as a tool, as a partner. I'm not a criminal. You're a survivor. That's close enough. I want to argue. I want to tell him I'm going back to my students and my apartment and my normal life, but I'm not sure I have a normal life anymore. I'm not sure I want one. Let me think about it, I say finally. Fair. He kisses my forehead. But think fast, because Delacroix is getting eliminated tomorrow, and after that, things are going to move quickly. Friday morning, James Delacroix is found dead in his home office. Official cause, suicide by gunshot. Unofficial cause, Kang Min-jun's organization demonstrating what happens to moles. Catherine Voss is arrested that afternoon on embezzlement charges. Turns out Chen wasn't the only person keeping records. The Foundation's financial audit, triggered by an anonymous tip that definitely didn't come from Kang's attorney, revealed years of financial manipulation. Voss is facing 15 years minimum. The money stolen from the Pacific Arts Foundation is quietly returned through a series of anonymous donations. $7 million, precisely accounted for. The foundation announces an expansion of youth programs in South Seattle and Tacoma. My name is listed as a consultant on the project. I didn't ask for that, but Kang insisted. You earned it, he said. And those kids need someone who remembers what it's like to need a chance. He's not wrong. 2 weeks later, I'm still living in the penthouse. My apartment is sublet. My students have been transferred to another teacher. My violin sits in its case in the guest room, untouched. I'm wearing jeans and a sweater, sitting at Kang's dining table, reviewing security footage from one of his import warehouses. I'm learning his business, learning his world, learning how to navigate the space between legal and necessary. Mrs. Cho brings me tea. She says something in Korean that I don't understand, but she's smiling. Kang translates from his office doorway. She says you're good for me, that I've been less terrible since you arrived. Less terrible is a ringing endorsement. In her language, it's high praise. He sits beside me, looks at the footage I'm reviewing. You've been here 2 weeks. Are you going to run? Not yet. Not yet. That's something. He closes the laptop, turns to face me fully. I meant what I said. I want you to stay. Not as my employee, not as my informant, as my partner. In crime? In everything. I should say no. I should tell him I'm a musician, not a criminal, that I don't belong in this world. But the truth is, I've never felt more seen, more valued, more powerful. I have conditions, I say. Name them. The foundation programs expand every year. More funding, more kids, more opportunities. Done. I don't kill anyone, ever. I'll watch, I'll investigate, I'll strategize, but I don't pull triggers. Agreed. And you teach me Korean. If I'm staying in your world, I want to understand it. Kang's smile is genuine, warm, devastating. Deal. He extends his hand the same way he did 3 weeks ago. But this time, when I shake it, it's not surrender. It's choice. Welcome to the organization, Naomi Price. Try not to overthink it. Too late. He laughs. The sound is rare and beautiful, and entirely mine. 3 months later, the new youth center opens in South Seattle on a Saturday afternoon. Ribbon cutting, city officials, foundation board members, press coverage. I'm there in a professional capacity, consultant, donor liaison, public face of the foundation's expansion. Kang is not there. He operates in shadows by choice. But I know he's watching the live stream from his office, and I know he's proud. A 13-year-old black girl with a violin case approaches me after the ceremony. Are you Naomi Price? I am. I got accepted into the summer program because of the scholarship you created. I just wanted to say thank you. She's me 10 years ago, hungry for a chance, desperate to prove herself. You earned it, I tell her. Now go practice, and don't let anyone tell you you're not good enough. I won't. She walks away, and I feel the weight of my choice settle into place. This is why I stayed. Not for Kang, not for the danger or the power, for this. For girls who need someone to believe in them, for a chance to rewrite the ending. That night, back at the penthouse, Kang pours us both wine. We stand at the windows, watching Seattle glow beneath us. "You were brilliant today," he says. "I was competent." "You were brilliant. Don't diminish yourself." He clinks his glass against mine. "To new beginnings. To dangerous choices. Those too." We drink. We stand in comfortable silence. And then Kang says, "I have a problem." "Another one?" "A different one. Vancouver territory, internal dispute. I need someone observant to assess the situation. Someone who can walk into a room and read everyone in it within 5 minutes. You need me." "I need you." I smile. "When do we leave?" "Tomorrow." If you've ever had to choose between the safe life you planned and the dangerous life you never saw coming, drop a comment and tell me. Would you have stayed with Kang, or would you have run back to safety? Because what happened in Vancouver? Let's just say observation skills only get you so far when everyone in the room is armed and 3 of them want you dead. Subscribe now. You'll want to see how I survived that.